On to F, participation in a county-facilitated competitive bid process for recycling and trash collection services. This is basically the single stream collection for recyclables. It is not committing us to, it's really committing us to nothing. It's probably there for them to show that they have increased interest in the program, to solicit better bids from their processor.
Are we going to number this resolution before we vote on it? Or do we need to?
Yes, we will.
Just for information purposes, and I have no idea, why is it your past practice to adopt this by resolution instead of a simple motion?
I don't think we've ever addressed this specific issue before.
Yeah, this is the single stream recycling that Waukesha County is endeavoring.
I apologize. My other clients never brought up the issue that the county asked for it in the form of a resolution. And so,
Can I just ask a question for clarification while Mr. Macy is looking? This very resolution or this template, we received this from the county, is that correct? We didn't craft or create this?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I see it's in the form of a resolution. That's somewhat unique. It doesn't need to be a resolution, but they've asked for a resolution. I could try to, if you want to pass it, I could try to go back and pass minutes, but I don't know how many minutes are posted to see what the latest number is. We could adopt the resolution and just direct the clerk to insert the next sequential number, if people are comfortable with that.
Sure.
Make a motion to accept the resolution, have the clerk or deputy clerk number it in sequence with the prior resolutions of the town board.
I'll second it.
Do we need to add in here that we're going to fill in the blanks, town of Waukesha, in the two open spaces? And not just accept it blankly? And do we need to amend the motion that way?
I would, the deputy clerk to fill in town of Waukesha in the appropriate places and to number it sequentially. I'll add that to the note.
I'll accept that confirmation of my motion.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. G, membership application for the 2014 Urban Towns Committee, Wisconsin Towns Association. This is different than the Towns Association that we are and have been part of. And there have been quite a number of towns around us that have not participated in the Urban Towns Association. It is a couple $1,000 bill. That perhaps we do not need to incur.
My preliminary inclination would be to pass on this, but I'm anxious to hear any comments from the other members of the board. I think for the record, we should indicate the people in the audience, this appears to be calculated based on population of the town. 9,142 persons at 25 cents a piece represents annual dues of $2,285.50, if I read that correctly.
And I believe, yes, you are reading it correctly. Is there a motion?
I got a question before we do that.
Yes.
Mr. Macy, can you give us your point on whether how many other communities are doing this? Or is that not permitted?
No, one of the reasons I think you retained our services is because we represent a lot of communities and have a lot of history. And I do have a lot of history on this issue. I can't speak with specificity because it's somewhat dated. But I shared with the town chairman today that I attend all of the town unit meetings. We had one last night, and a number of years ago, one of the town chairmen from another town brought the issue to the county units meeting and suggested that possibly they weren't meeting the needs of towns for Waukesha County. That they weren't the type of urban towns that they were helping, and that he strongly recommended, well, he announced that his community was no longer going to participate in the urban towns, and suggested the other communities look at it. So I have seen this issue come up. I can't speak as to which of the towns I represent currently are in or currently aren't in, because it strictly is a policy decision. We would have to check with the Towns Association to find that out. I saw it was on your agenda, and I sort of wanted to bring it up last night, but I thought with the two town officials there from the state that possibly I didn't want to, and the gentleman who actually made the representation a number of years ago wasn't at the meeting, because I would have brought it up if he'd been there, because then he could have carried the ball and he could have explained, and we actually would have given the state representatives, the two people from the Towns Association, an opportunity to try to plug it. They made a passing comment that the bills were out and they would have hoped to appreciate it, but Waukesha County has notoriously not participated in great number. That I can all share with you just from my own personal knowledge.
Now, is this more for rural, like farmland communities, or?
No, actually, it's just for the opposite. It's the urban towns, and what happened was some of the urban towns, and even different than Waukesha, they're almost like cities or villages. Okay, they have sewer and water, and you know, and they went to the Towns Association and said, "Would you lobby for this bill?" And the Towns Association said, "No. I mean, we're rural towns. You know, the vast majority of our towns are not interested." So they created this whole subcommittee of urban towns to lobby for more metropolitan communities. But the argument was made that Waukesha County towns really weren't even what they were working for. Now, people would disagree with that, but I don't take a position, as you know. You know, this is a policy decision, but you asked me what I know about the issue, and in all fairness, I know that about the issue. There were a lot of people who felt that, although they served a wonderful purpose, they weren't serving the needs of the Waukesha County towns. But others would disagree with that.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to not pay this fee and join them this year.
To not join them.
To not join them.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Financial auditor